All right, now we're going to use the insert edge function, the bridge function. We're going to merge the cylinder, the half cylinder that we made, to the kind of the other panel that we made, and then we're going to use another thing called weld vertices. This is a long tutorial and it can be kind of tricky, but hopefully we'll end up with something that looks similar to what they have here in the upper right. Fingers crossed. So continue with the file from the previous module. You should still have that open. I'm gonna make this a little bigger. Okay. All right, click Modify Edit Form, double click on the bottom edge of the handle geometry so the entire edge loop is selected. Use the on-screen manipulator on plane option to drag the selection downwards to match the length of the handle in the reference image. The length of the let's see, when you're happy with the new position, click in the canvas area to deselect the edge. So, so we're doing this pretty much exactly like they're doing it, to hopefully get the same end result. We want to end just inside this curve where it's, where it's black. So right about there. Okay, and you can see that I'm quite a bit higher. We want to be like down here. So modify, edit form. They said to double click, right? And so that's so that we highlight this entire edge and then use this manipulator here to bring it down right about there. When you're happy with that, click OK. Great. Now we're going to select the bottom edge of the forward two faces in the handle geometry. Hold down Alt and use the on-screen manipulator's on-plane option to drag the selection downwards and forwards. And by forward, they mean forward on the saw, so left. A new face division will be added to the form body because Alt is being held down. So if you accidentally left-clicked anywhere out here, that means you're out of the edit form mode, so you have to go back into it. And we're going to select the two forward edges, which we have to click, I believe, Command on an Apple computer. Yeah. So you have to hold down Command or hold down Control if you're on Windows to select multiple individual segments. And then we're going to click Alt and use the on-screen in-plane manipulator, which is this guy, down and to the left. Okay, and I'm just gonna be happy with that right there for now. Which, yeah, they've got it terminating like halfway between this bottom black edge and the handle edge. I could maybe bring it down to there, just to make it like exactly like theirs. Let go of Alt and use the on-screen manipulator's rotate option to rotate the selected edges. After you're happy with their location, click in an open area of the canvas to deselect them and click OK on the control panel. So they're rotating it to make it a little bit more of a curve. And we see that brings this edge up into kind of the white space. I'm still in edit form mode, so Command highlighted there. So I'm rotating till I'm up in the white space. Let's see if that's exactly what we got. Yep, pretty much. Happy with that. Computer's kind of slow. Sweet. All right, when bridging two form bodies together, each body needs to have the same number of faces to bridge together, okay? So in this case, there are two faces on the handle side of the bridge, and therefore there needs to be two faces on the saw side, which we don't have yet. So we need to click Modify Edit Form and double click on the casing body, which is the left panel, not the cylinder. So double click on the casing body's lower edge to select the entire edge loop and use the on-screen manipulator on plane option to drag the selection upwards. Click OK to accept the modification. So I'm seeing that they're bringing this back up to closer to the handle, whereas right now it's down low. Modify, edit form, double click this guy to bring it back up to like right about there. Okay. Click anywhere outside of that. We're still in edit form mode. Click modify, insert edge. Okay, so we want to get out of edit mode. All right, now it's saying click modify, insert edge, and then double click on the casing body's top edge to select the entire edge loop, and notice a green line is previewed on the body. This illustrates where the new edge will be placed. So again, we're trying to make this into 2 panels, right? So that we have something to connect to these 2 panels. Modify, I believe they said insert edge. Double click here, and because I double clicked, you will see this panel comes all the way across. Click OK. Click modify, insert point, select a point on the bottom face's bottom edge, bottom right edge, we should say. And then next select a point on the top face's top edge, also on the right hand side. A green line will be previewed to illustrate the face division. Click OK in the control panel to accept the new face division. So modify, insert point. All right, we want to insert point. I'm going to put like a midpoint. Yeah, there, and there we've got our green line. Great. So now we have, well, something funny happened here that I'm not thrilled about. Let's see. So you'll see that it created it, but we couldn't see it from the front view at all because of this guy. So I want to get to looking closer to theirs. And in order to do that, I need to bring this edge that way. This. I'm gonna bring it like that, kind of forward a little bit. Click OK. Now if I go back to the front view, now we're beginning to see these 2 panels, which is great. I'm actually going to move these 2 segments here also to the left. Deselect those. Select these. Command Z. There we go. I had to make sure to select both of them. Kind of move this out. All right. So if you guys don't know what I was just doing there, I wanted to make these 2 panels visible from the XY plane. And they weren't because the curve in the Z was really tight. And now I've broadened it. You can see that that's a broader curve than before. And I simply was doing that so we get the same form that the tutorial wants us to get. Click Modify Bridge. For the control panel's selection, choose the 2 edges on the bottom of the casing body. For the control panel's side 2 selection, choose the 2 edges on the bottom of the handle body. Activate the control panel's preview option to preview the geometry, and then enter a value of 1 into the face's value field. Click OK. All right, so modify bridge. Here's our control panel for side 1. we're clicking, we want to connect these two edges with these two edges. Preview and faces 1. Click OK. All right. So there we have it. But see, we have some weird intersection stuff going on here, and I think that's the point. This is not the desired result, right? It's not bridging as we want it to. Because forms do not have parametric history, I mentioned this at the beginning. That's kind of the bummer of freeform CAD is you can't go back easily. We simply need to click the undo button instead of it being modified, and then we have to fix it somehow. So we're going to go that was step 14. So we're going to go back to where we were. Click modify bridge, make the same selection for the control panel's 1 and 2 side selections. Notice the preview shows the twisting angle. The casing's body edge needs to be pulled inward so that it better matches the geometry in which it's trying to bridge, which we can see highlighted here. We're not going to go through that one more time. We're actually going to fix it first. So press cancel on the control panel. Yeah, we can see it right there in the screenshot. We want this angle to match this angle better, is what they're saying. So click modify edit form, select the casing's body's 2 rear edges, so that these back edges here. Navigate to the top view, and we want these 2 edges here to match up with the, looks like the origin or the center line. So modify edit form. Remember to hold command to highlight both of those. Go to the top, and we want to take this guy just here and go. Actually, I'm going to use the on-screen. Yeah, that guy there. Yeah. And I want it to lie pretty much on the origin. Okay. And let's see what they got. So you see they have this long panel here and then the curve. That's similar to what we have, so that's good. Click modify bridge and make the same selection for side 1 and side 2, and notice now that we're going to be bridging in a better way now. I'm going to shift this down. Okay, so select side 2. See that? Now these arrows are running, say more parallel to one another, and so it's going to be happier to bridge. Still one face. Click OK, and we've got a much better solution here. Navigate to the front view, then click modify, edit form to open the edit form tool. Double click on one of the top edges of the handles section to select the entire edge loop, and hold the Alt key and use the on-screen manipulator on plane option to drag the selection upwards. Okay, so we're going to be making another panel. Right now it only has 2 panels. We're going to have a third. So go to the front view, modify, edit form, double click so that we select the whole top face, and then remember to hold Alt so that we're creating a new panel, and we're dragging this guy up. When you're happy with it, deselect. And let's see kind of where they have us. Okay, to rotate it slightly. So we see that the center point kind of hits the bottom of this switch here, and it's angled so that we're a little bit on the trigger, the gray part of the trigger, and just above. So you can see that I need to bring the center point over to about there. So that means I need to move this guy over. Yeah, close enough probably. And they're cutting off part of the saw too. So hold down Alt again and drag the selection forwards. Release the Alt key and rotate this section again so that it aligns roughly with the reference image. So we're gonna hold Alt again and drag it forwards. And then deselect Alt and rotate a little bit. Use the on-screen manipulator's scale option to reduce the selection's scale. You can see that we're kind of wide here. And it looks to me like they are a little bit more vertical than I am and just in front of the trigger. So I'm in the right spot in terms of that. I just need to rotate this a little bit more. Yeah, like right there. And then squeeze this down just a little bit. Yeah. I think that's pretty good to start with. Hold the Alt key and add one more section as you drag the selection forward. Rotate the selection after you drag it forward. So we're doing the same thing where, oh, I just deselected it. There we go. Double click. Again, we're holding Alt, dragging this forward. Get this guy out of the way. Oh, geez. Got too much going on my screen. Okay. And we're gonna rotate this yet again. Kind of want to bring it down just a little bit. Okay. And they actually have it terminating before the angle, like way back here. So yeah, let's go like that. Continue to refine the shape by selecting points, faces, edges, or edge loops, and use the on-screen manipulator to various points to massage the selection into the correct shape. So when you're happy with the adjustments, left-click in the canvas to exit. Right, so now that we have the general shape, we're gonna go back and select segments or points to better get the overall shape. So I'll click on that guy, probably drag it out. That looks pretty good. I mean, honestly, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I'd say that's happy with it. Double click the casing section's upper edge to select the edge loop, hold down Alt and drag the selection upward to match the reference image. Left click in the canvas to deselect the entities and click OK in the control panel when you're happy with the modification. So they've got the top part of the handle here kind of terminating right before this loop, and this guy looks like it's right up with that edge. So we've got to go back into, if you exit it out on accident, edit form, double click. We're going to bring this guy right on up. One thing I want to check here is if I'm making a new panel or not. I'm not. See, there's just two panels there, 3 panels there. Okay. Hold down Alt. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna make a new, let's go Control Z and hold down Alt to make a new panel. Cool. And that's where we're gonna click OK. Click Modify Bridge from the control panel. The 2 sides, we're going to select the bottom 2 here and the right 2 top edges there. So we're connecting this to this. Modify Bridge. The first side is that. The second side is not that panel. Restart. Modify Bridge. So these bottom left edges, and these top 2 edges here, and we'll see that these line up as it was, and we've got the 2 arrows pointing in the right direction. Choose the 2 faces on the handle of the body, click OK, and inspect it. Cool. So we've got a bridge that looks very similar with a nice curve like so. And you can see here we need to bring this up just a little bit to match the overall handle. Open the Edit Form tool and then select the 3 edges near the top of the form body. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting close. Edit Form, top 3 edges. Hold down Command again to make individual selections. Use the on-screen manipulator to drag the selections forward until the bottom selection face is roughly the same length as the face on the casing selection. So we're talking this edge here matches up with that edge right there. No, that can't be right. So let's see, edit form. Not quite getting what they have, but I think I know why. So if we move this forward, right, but we want this particular point back here, right where it was, which is right there, just inside. So let's go forward. Right about there, click outside, click this point, drag him back to where it was. Okay, still not quite right. Okay, I figured out what I was doing wrong, and I don't know that they say, so they don't say in step 30 here to hold down Alt, but what they're doing is they're creating a new set of panels here, and I did not hold down Alt. That's what was giving me trouble. So hold down Alt on step 30. First select the 3 edges, then hold down Alt, and there we go. That's what we want. Like that. Hold down Alt again. Bring it to the front like that. So we need to stitch these these guys together, right? We've got a gap here in our form. That's what they're going to have us do. So we've created a couple of panels. Looks to me like we actually want to, let's bring this back. We want the panels to match up. So what I mean is we want this panel to match up well with this panel. So I'm going to hold Alt again and create my final panel right there. Great. Deselect those. Click Modify Weld Vertices and select 2 of the adjacent vertices to merge, then click OK. So weld the vertices. We want to weld this to that, this to that. Great. So we've got this last little chunker here, which is this guy. Inspect the result after the vertices are welded together. Click Modify Merge Edge. So modify Merge Edge, and we're going to merge these last 2 edges together. Wait, edge group 1 and edge group 2. So edge group 1 is this, edge group 2 is that. For the control panel's edge group 2 selection, choose the 2 edges on the bottom of the gap, just that. Click OK to merge the selections. There it is. Sweet. And look at that, we did it right. Zoom out and inspect the new geometry. The 2 separate form bodies are bridged together, and the unified form body closely resembles the reference image. Continue to use the Edit Form tool to manipulate the shape until you're happy with it. Click OK after you finish. All right, so I think we're pretty happy with that. At least I am. I don't think there's much that needs to be done. That you can see there's a little bit of a bulge out here. But I think that's what they had as well. We could come in here. I will do this. Edit Form. And take this guy over just a little bit. This guy up. All right, that was the one thing that was kind of bugging me. Actually, this whole handle needs to kind of be manipulated a little bit. See, I'm selecting multiple at once to kind of create the form that the shape that I want. And we're nearly there. Just want to move this guy down and possibly this guy over. All right, well, we can keep manipulating this around until it's perfect, but let's just call that good. Cool. The form body can be displayed in different modes. Click Utilities, Display Mode. Choose the box display option in the control panel's display mode section. The form body is now displayed in a box mode that can help you more easily identify problem areas. Click OK to choose, to close the control panel. So we can open up Utilities, Display Mode, and we have obviously different display modes. We can see that it highlights the points here that are way out. But that's okay. We're going to keep this where it's at. The box geometry in this display mode can help you more easily identify areas that need to be tweaked for smoother results. Oh yeah, it shows it further out there too. Use the edit form tool to adjust the geometry into a smoother configuration to check your progress. What they mean by that is the transitions. So like this line should be tangent to this line, right? Because you want to create an overall smooth effect. And so that's why they're saying you can use this geometric kind of box display mode to see these various angles. To check your progress, press Alt-3 to return to the smooth display mode. Press Alt-1, which I'm on a Mac. I have to look up what the alt codes would be for this. And after you're happy with the adjustments, press Alt-3 to return to the smooth display mode and press OK. So, I don't have the alt codes, but for example, this is a pretty hard transition here and here. This is definitely a hard transition here and here. So we can go through, and that is a pretty terrible transition as well. We can go through and tweak this as much as we want, but I think you at least get the idea and the function of using box mode. All right, on to the next lesson.